Good morning everyone. Anyone seen that episode of Rick and Morty, Vat of Acid? Anyone want to try that for real? I mean, don't, obviously. I think it's pretty safe to say that you shouldn't be doing anything you see on Rick and Morty anyway. But if you really must hide in a pool of acid, then you absolutely, positively need what we'll be covering today. Tortured segue over, let's take a look at ISMA'S tear from Hollow Knight. An unusual and unique piece of fruit, ISMA'S tear, sometimes referred to as ISMA'S blessing, is pale green with ornate-looking swirls upon its surface. It is suggested to be the solidified tear of ISMA, one of Hallownests' white defenders, and can be found in her final resting place. The item can be consumed in order to provide permanent, or at least long-lasting, protection from the acid which can be found throughout Hallownest. This unique piece of fruit is seldom seen within the kingdom of Hallownest, and it's possible that, at most, only one exists at any point in time, with it taking a long time to grow another. Considering its extreme usefulness in protecting an individual from the acid, which is prevalent throughout the subterranean world, being almost mandatory for anyone exploring the depths of Hallownest, it is only absolutely necessary to obtain if an adventurer wishes to explore the extremely secluded regions of the kingdom, with someone skilled enough in traversal, able to avoid swimming in acid through other means, especially if they possess several other items to assist them with movement, such as a mantis claw or monarch wings. While the nature of ISMA'S tear is thought to be reasonably well understood in that it simply makes one who consumes it immune to the effects of acid, the history of the item seems to be somewhat clouded. It is known that ISMA herself was one of the white defenders of Hallownest, tasked with protecting the kingdom, and it's believed that she herself was the source of the acid throughout the kingdom. However, it is unknown how she came to end up in the royal waterways in a plant-like form, as the Mosskin and their deity Un are known to have propagated plant life throughout Greenpath and the Queen's Gardens. It could be that she came to have some connection with them. It is also known that the Pale Beings annexed a part of the Mosskin's land, an area which would become the Queen's Gardens. So it is not a stretch to think that along with her land, the Pale Beings also usurped a fraction of Un's power. It might have been that this power was researched within the teacher's archives prior to the onset of the infection, and ISMA was assigned or volunteered to learn this power, helping in taming the Queen's Gardens and differentiating them from Greenpath. When the infection did descend on Hallownest, and all other known attempts to stop it failed, it is possible that ISMA took the situation into her own hands, absconding with Ogrim, a fellow white defender, into the royal waterways, where she would sacrifice herself to create a purge of purifying acid to destroy the infection and all those afflicted with it, using the waterways to disseminate the acid to every corner of the kingdom. Ogrim would remain to defend ISMA'S tomb from anyone who would attempt to stop her plan, but over the years he became infatuated with her and longed for the days he was a white defender. It is said that ISMA only bestows her blessing upon those worthy enough, and it could be that even Ogrim himself did not partake of her fruit, as he seems to admire the knight who makes it to ISMA for obtaining it. This could have been either because of simple unworthiness, or more likely, a reverence for her, preventing him from picking her fruit. The entire idea that ISMA is able to judge worthiness, however, raises the idea that she is in fact not dead, but remains conscious in the static form she took long ago, actively choosing to produce the fruit when one deserving encounters her. This would not only make the name of the fruit make much more sense, as she weeps for her situation and the state of Hallownest, but it also makes her sacrifice all the more tragic, as she is forced to watch the fall of the world without being able to do anything other than merely cry for it. While it may not seem that powerful on the face of it, and acid pools can often be traversed without it, ISMA'S tear may actually be one of the most significant items in Hallownest. Not only is it unfathomably rare and difficult to obtain, but you also have to play as an ancient warrior to obtain it. Furthermore, the history that may be associated with it is literally the thing of legends. Therefore, we can only conclude that ISMA'S tear should be assigned an artifact rating of momentous. I'm not gonna lie, that got a bit more sad than I meant it to. Well, let's try to cheer ourselves up by subscribing for more course content and becoming a patron to support the lecture series and suggest your own topics. Now I realise it's not much, but maybe if we cry together, then things might not seem so bad. We might even make some fruit that has magical abilities in the process. No guarantees though.